MC Meltdown, the history of beef between Drake and Pusha T. Forget restarting the fire. It seems like Drake has restarted the beef between himself and Pusha T and Associates with his new verse on Travis Scott's new track, Meltdown, from his album Utopia. The anger between the rappers is nothing new, but since spring 2018, if you know, you know, both rappers have been pretty quiet in the studio when it comes to their disagreements, with a few exceptions, until now. Fans are wondering if Drake's new verse digging at Pusha is a sign that diss tracks are coming back, now that the rap game is so full of new stars. Today we'll break down where the fight started between Drizzy and Pusha T, and unpack why Drake would bring it all back up now. This is one of the most infamous hip-hop battles in history, and it involves more people in the rap game than just Pusha and Drake. First off, let's get into why Drake would even mention Pusha T and Pharrell on a diss track in the first place. Way back in 2011, a young Drake insulted the Clips, a rap duo of Pusha T and his brother Gene, by including a verse in Dreams Money Can Buy that his favorite rappers had all lost it. In response, Pusha T dissed Drizzy over his own beat and warned Drake on the track that he was getting too big for his boots, since this was only his sophomore album. In May 2012, Pusha got even more personal and clowned Drake for having a messy contract and being signed to Lil Wayne's label, Young Money Entertainment. Afterward, both Wayne and Drizzy hit back at Pusha with a diss track and a verse, with Wayne claiming, "F Pusha T and anybody that loves him." Between 2012 and 2016, both Drizzy and Pusha T released tracks that include multiple verses dragging each other. In 2018, Pusha T's new album Daytona included a very obvious diss at Drake for using Quentin Miller, a songwriter and rapper who's worked with some of the biggest in the rap game, including Nas, to write some of his material on Drizzy's album. If you're reading this, it's too late. Pusha alluded to Drake using a ghostwriter twice, and even asked him, "How can you ever right these wrongs when you don't even write your songs?" Naturally, Drake was pissed, and he got in the studio that night to record Duppy Freestyle, a vicious return diss directed at Pusha and also at Kanye West. In it, he mentioned Pusha's fiancée Virginia Williams by name, and claimed Pusha was using their beef to sell records. In the verse, Drake told Pusha to tell, "Yay, we got an invoice coming to you." Unfazed, Pusha responded to the OVO Twitter account, telling Drake to go ahead and run him the invoice. Now this is where things took a savage turn. Pusha, in return to Drake's Duppy Freestyle, decided to unload the entire chamber on the Six rapper and told the world about Drake's secret love child with French adult film star and artist Sophie Brussel. And Pusha didn't stop there. The song, called The Story of Adidon, detailed all of Drake's failures in Pusha T's eyes, including hiding his son Adonis from the world and refusing to acknowledge the mother of his child. The song's cover was also a picture of Drake in blackface, which was obviously a rough hit for his image. Pusha even dragged Drake's closest friends, swearing that Drizzy's producer, OVO40, didn't have much time left and would soon die from his battle with MS. The next month, instead of releasing a diss track against Pusha for outing his personal life, Drake released Scorpion, which outsold Daytona and explained his crazy family drama. On the last track of Scorpion, called March 14th, Drake laid out exactly what happened with his baby mama and how he planned to be a good parent to Adonis going forward. In the song, Drake explained that he and Sophie were not lovers and that they weren't exactly co-parenting on good terms. He also admitted that he'd only seen his son once since he was born, and that the gifts he brought him for Christmas probably didn't fit anymore. Since then, Drake has been seen much more often with his son, though rarely with Sophie, online and out and about, and he and Adonis did do an interview together for Barstool Sports in February 2023. After Scorpion was released, Drake and Pusha seemed to both kind of let go of their beef, with fans saying that Pusha won since he forced Drake to admit Adonis existed to the world. Things seemed fine until October 2018, when Drake was a guest on longtime friend LeBron James's HBO special, The Shop. During the episode, Drake threw Kanye West under the bus for letting the cat out of the bag about Adonis. When Drake went out to visit Kanye during his Wyoming listening sessions, he played March 14th for him, way before the album was released. Drake even confided in Kanye about his son and his struggles with Sophie Brussaux, probably assuming Kanye could relate due to his ongoing issues with his ex-wife and baby mama, Kim Kardashian. Instead of being a listening ear for Drizzy and keeping the secret to himself, Kanye went straight to Pusha T with the news, giving Pusha the ammo he needed for the story of Adidon. While pretty much anything is open game when it comes to a diss track, Drake did mention to LeBron that he was hurt by Pusha attacking OVO 40, his longtime personal friend and record producer. Drake suggested that rapping about 40's struggle with MS was a new low and would have karmic consequences for Pusha T in the future. In response, Pusha T hit back with potentially the cruelest rumor of all. He claimed that it wasn't Kanye West who shared the secret of Drake's son with him. It was actually OVO 40 himself, who accidentally gave the information to a woman he was sleeping with at the time. Pusha somehow found this woman, and that's how he learned the truth about Drake's hushed-up love child. That being said, there are some fans who think Pusha made this up to help Kanye save face and to make Drake doubt his closest associate. Since that fateful day, Drake and Pusha have stayed pretty separate, while other rappers involved in the beef like Kanye West and Lil Wayne have had their own lives and dramas to deal with. Except for a verse on Jack Harlow's song Churchill Downs, Drake has kept pretty quiet about Pusha T and the infamous outing of his love child. In the song, Drizzy reminded listeners that he still hadn't gotten Pusha back for the story of Adidon and that he hadn't forgotten about it. Not to mention, he took several shots at Pusha's finances and claimed the older rapper was jealous of his success. Besides that, things have stayed quiet in both camps as the rappers work on different projects. Until now. With the release of Travis Scott's new album Utopia, it looks like Drake is ready to restart one of the most famous rap battles of the 2000s. So what exactly did he say, and who is it aimed at? We've got the full breakdown for you right here. The track Drake is featured on is called Meltdown, and that's exactly what's happened since fans have clocked the not-so-sneaky disses at both Pusha T and Pharrell that are in the song. On the first verse of Meltdown, Drake goes in on Pusha T and Pharrell by telling Pusha that he melted down the millions of dollars worth of chains he bought from Skateboard P earlier that year. Pharrell auctioned off some of his most famous jewelry to the public in 2022, where Drake bought some of the designer's most recognizable pieces. Although he claims he's melted them down, some viewers are skeptical that Drake would melt down millions of dollars in chains just to make a point. In the second half of the verse, Drake also claims that since Pharrell has taken over as the new men's creative director at Louis Vuitton after Virgil Abloh's untimely death in 2021, the members done hung up the Louis, they not even wearing that. Both lines are a clear dig at Pharrell's iconic history as a rapper, producer, and fashion designer, and they also refer to Pharrell as Pusha's boss, making it sound like Pusha works under Pharrell, not collaborates with him. The next verse is even more brutal, with Drizzy telling Pusha and Pharrell that their lucky Vogue sued him and 21 Savage over the promo for their album Her Loss. Otherwise, he would have been with the Wassas in Paris. This seems to be a direct threat to both Skateboard P and Pusha, since Pusha and his brother Gene reunited as the Clips to play Pharrell's Louis Vuitton Fashion Week show in Paris in 2023. The Wassas are Drake's longtime friends and collaborators from the Jane and Finch area of Toronto, which is notoriously a rougher side of the city. Since Drake and 21 were busy dealing with a lawsuit from Vogue over the fake magazine cover advertisements for their joint album, Drake wasn't able to fly to Paris and get his lick back there, but he makes it clear Pusha owes him one. For fans who'd hoped that the beef between Pusha T and Drake died back in 2018, it seems you're out of luck. Drake makes it clear in his final verse from Meltdown that there will be no fixing the relationship between them anytime soon. Instead, he warns both the rappers not to come to him with any attempts to settle the beef between them. With that being said, the real question now is whether or not Pusha T or Pharrell will decide to respond. Does the verse on Meltdown count as a full diss track that needs a response? Or will Pusha and Pharrell decide that firing back at Drizzy will only make him look more legit? This is the first time that Drake has lashed out at Pharrell, and the two used to have a good working relationship, even releasing the song Special together in 2015. Has Pharrell's public support for the Clips and Pusha T since then caused Drake to draw him into the drama? Since Travis Scott is the one who released the track, is he now involved in this long-standing rap beef too? Will other rappers be forced to choose between Drizzy and Pusha T? Let us know what you think down in the comments, and don't forget to stay tuned here for more true celebrity stories.